window shopping weekend when we have time to share. A day at the beach with the wind in your hair, or the look on your face that tells me you care. That's what your love means to me. Sunday morning, take a ride with you to the playground by the schoolyard.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's like a douche here. Got the douchey haircut, or COVID cut, if you want to call it that. All I know is it's a little weight off the top of my head, and that's all I needed. But I am back once again with some vinyl finds before my up-and-coming trip, which I will share at the end of this video, so stay tuned. In this video though, I got 4 LPs, all ranging from like sunshine pop to meditative ambient spaces. I mean, we're kind of all over the map. All 4 very different albums, but stuff that I'm totally into at the moment. So hopefully I get to release this video tomorrow, which is Sunday for me. If you're watching this, it's probably Sunday. But I actually found out I have to come in work tomorrow, so I'm going to try to push this out fairly quickly here. We're going to start off with this one. So I got this on an eBay bid not too long ago. Got it on the bid for like 15 or 17 bucks, I think. The Corporation self-titled debut on Capitol. I believe this one was in my Capitol Records list, probably at least a year ago now, maybe. Anyways, this came out in '69, and they had 2 other albums after this one, both pretty solid as well. You know, kind of dipping their toes into psych. This is definitely a great entry-level kind of record for that sort of thing. This one doesn't really hit you over the top with all these psychedelic effects or anything. It's pretty much straightforward psych rock, but they kind of use more of their charismatic style than anything, just the way they're performing. Nice use of Hammond organs, some nice fuzz in spots, and use of flute as well. It's got a side-long track, India, which is a John Coltrane rendition. Just excellent jam session going on there. My favorite tracks, though, would probably be Smile and Drifting. I think it's like the same producer of SRC, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But, you know, if you enjoy SRC, all those types of bands on Capitol during this era, you can't go wrong here. So, like I said, it's not going to rock your socks off, but it's certainly got some good moments on here, and worth investigating. Unfortunately, you know, pretty much like all psych records, they're kind of going up in price. If you can spot it for like 15, 20 bucks, I'd say grab it. It's been a little higher in recent years, but finally found it for a comfortable price. This one I'm really happy to cross off. This is one I've been wanting for about a year now. I've had it on the want list for almost a year, and I think I've only seen maybe 1 or 2 copies pop up on Discogs ever since. And I don't know why this one's so obscure, but this listing in particular might have been on there for a long time, and I didn't know it, but I just kind of said to myself, I'd really like to have this. So I used like half of my PayPal funds and spent a little more than I wanted to out of pocket, but it still turned out to be a success here. So this is Popcorn Blizzard, and no, not Meatloaf's Popcorn Blizzard. This is actually a different Popcorn Blizzard, I think from the East Coast, reportedly from New Jersey. I'm not too sure on that, but it's on the Delight label, which is kind of an odd label for this kind of record. You know, first thing that comes to mind, of course, is Kool and the Gang, but I never knew they had like sunshine pop stuff going on there. This is a promotional copy, and it's also kind of associated with Map City label. And just looking at the front cover, you know, it's not really the most appealing cover in the world. It's not going to stand out to a lot of people, but this one specializes mostly very vocal-driven sunshine pop. And, you know, pretty much all of this is pretty much on the light side, but somehow, in some way, the magic really unravels itself, and I really did enjoy this LP quite a bit. I hadn't heard it in full until someone uploaded it on YouTube, so I was really enjoying it one time on one of my walks. I would kind of compare them to like a lighter sounding Yellow Balloon, or if the session members of the Mark Eric LP on Revue label. It's very much in that light, very sunshiny. But the thing about this one too, the vocals and the vocal harmonies on here, they're kind of whispery, kind of dreary sounding, which you don't often associate with sunshine pop, but somehow it works really well. These guys look like they're in their 30s too. I mean, and the fact this came out in 1970, they came out a little late for this kind of style. So, promotional copy. Does have some scuffs, but it did play pretty well. Far better than what I was expecting, but yeah, turned out to be a success. So I'd say the psych, as far as the trip meter goes, it's not anywhere near trippy. There's like a hint of like psych influences here and there, but I would say it's kind of more suited for like the sunshine pop completist. Copies seem pretty scarce. I never see that pop up. So getting on with this one. So now we're out of the sunshine pop realm. We're going into the Spatial Galactic realm. And this is one album that I cannot believe I've slept on for so long. As you guys know, I listen to a lot of different kind of music on my walks, and especially like krautrock I'm getting into this year, and a lot of like European jazz rock and progressive stuff that I've just never really ventured out in before, and really been enjoying what I've been hearing. And this is one of those bands, albums that I've always heard over the years, kind of been hyped up. They've gotten a lot of publicity over them, and somehow the magic really worked its way in for me. And I finally picked up a reissue of Asherah Temple, or just a vinyl copy, because it seems like a lot of vinyl copies are pretty scarce these days. It's on the Or label. This is their debut album, and so far I've heard their second album, and then there's two albums from '73. I think it's Starring Rossi, or I forget the title of that one. I've heard that one today, and the one before that, something in, I forget what it's called, Cloud In or something. Anyways, really enjoying this band lately. Klaus Schultz was in the band early on. He was associated with, of course, Can Dream Dream, the whole Berlin school. And this is replicated just like the original, where it opens up. It's got two different openings here. As you can tell, these guys are no joke. These guys go out there. Very spiritual, very... there's so many different adjectives I want to use, but kind of lacking on at the moment. Side one opens up with these really drony sounds, but then it gets like really heavy, and it sounds like this whole whirlwind of different, hard rock elements coming through. And Klaus Schultz on the drums, man, he's like hammering that drum kit. Pretty awesome. But by the time it gets to side two, is where it really kicked in for me, with all these kind of drony, atmospheric, ambient sounds, very much predating like post-rock kind of stuff. So far, I'd say this one's my favorite, but their follow-up records are all very different, all individually, different worlds, really. So, and any vinyl copy, it seems pretty scarce these days. Even these reissues, kind of pricey. They're going up for $60, and can't find them in the U.S. oftentimes. So, got kind of lucky on eBay. Spent like half my PayPal funds on this one as well. Little discount, but definitely not near where they're going on Discogs anyways. So, Asherah Temple. Very spacey, very much its own cosmic world. This is definitely going to be some kind of, just definitely a late night listen excursion, so very glad to check into that band. And then with this one, I still have to dive into this one a little bit more. I've heard it one evening when I was taking pictures and sharing it, but This is a new release. So ever since I bought that Freegate album on Bandcamp, which I showed a few videos back, I thought to myself, well, let's snoop around Bandcamp, see what independent releases are coming out. And so I was looking in like the ambient section and psychedelic section, which there was a few psychic releases coming out that I could pick up down the road, but this is one of those cases where I'm very much into this kind of stuff, but the idea of buying it on vinyl, I thought maybe, well, it might not sound too good, the sound quality, or rather listen to it online than hearing a crackle every once in a while. But thankfully this pressing was really quiet, but I decided to pick up on this. This is Embassy of Sound. This is all one man, but he goes by Embassy of Sound as the artist name. Golden Resonance from the Sun Disk of Arklantis. He's basically a gong player. He also plays like singing bowls, based out of Arkansas. And there's a whole story on the back here, which I kind of read fairly quickly, but it's also on his Bandcamp. He's been playing like gongs for years, and there's this whole mystical world of like these sun discs on these gongs here that supposedly have like pieces of Atlantis missing within Arkansas or something to that realm. Anyways, the energy that comes off these releases, particularly something like this, I'm very much engaged in, very captivated by. And so yeah, Damon Hoffman. It was also mixed by another fellow here, and it was recorded in Little Rock, Arkansas. So it's a brand new release. I ordered this back when I ordered Freegate, so almost a whole month. But yeah, all the ambient pieces work really well, very droney. It's kind of one of those records, just more about the discovery, kind of discovering dreams inside your head as you're listening to this, and just a very, very much in the moment kind of trip, for sure. So I do listen to this kind of stuff almost every night, actually, before I go to sleep. This is a little note from Damon there. Yeah, I fall asleep to these kind of meditative, frequency-based mixes and stuff at night by having them on these playlists. Very similar to this kind of stuff. So it's on a gold vinyl there, which is kind of a given. Not very noisy. It's pretty quiet. Of course there might be a little crackle here and there in the softer moments, but kind of as expected with such a release as this. I love my ambient music just as much as psych, so as far as like picking them up on vinyl though, it's just become a lot tougher, I think, and I think I'm a little picky as far as what I want to own. So this one was just really speaking to me, and it's definitely a keeper. I really enjoy this, and just look at that cover art. So with my whole trip coming up, I will be taking a vacation here next week, this week. On Wednesday up until the whole weekend, I'm going to spend some time in Colorado, luxurious Colorado. And never been there before. I've flown over it. But yeah, it's going to be nice kind of just soaking in all that Rocky Mountain air and digging in some thrift stores, hopefully, and different record shops that I've got listed. Should go very well. So looking forward to it, and do expect a video coming out after the whole trip's done. Take care, and we shall see you soon.